Hello everyone and welcome to another Dungeon Defenders 2 video. Today I'm going to go over the Countess. She is actually what I would call a paladin hero. Now, a paladin is usually, at least in my terms, someone that does tanking and healing and buffing, basically like a support hero. So, to go over her abilities and attacks, her left click or primary attack will send out these phoenixes, as you can see. But if I know correctly, her melee attack will still proc, so you got two attacks which can proc simultaneously on one enemy. And as you can see right now, I am supposedly dealing about 1,000,000 DPS. But as soon as I go further away, I am dealing 700,000. So, yes, the melee still hits separately from the ranged projectile, but it does seem the ranged projectile does the most of the damage. Her secondary attack is basically a block. However, for some reason, it doesn't work the same as Squire. Because some of the mods and shards that are meant for blocking seem to not work from what I have heard other people say. Don't quote me on that because I haven't really played around with her too much. I've only really tested her defenses. Now to go over her abilities. Her first ability will send out a blazing trail of dragons, which I think scale with ability power. And it does a neat amount of damage. Her second ability is why I call her a paladin. Upon activation, you see that you start moving faster. On top of that, you start dealing more damage. Now, how much extra damage, I don't actually know. I have yet to accurately estimate, but you will see later in the Ascensions that you get a slight boost from it as well as increases damage, and I think movement speed as well, of nearby allies, and increases damage of the nearby defenses. Now, her third ability allows her to become immune to damage and dash away, and deal a massive truckload of damage, supposedly. But the main thing I want to focus on is the dash itself. That was with a single activation. So yeah, you move super far away. It's a really neat ability that you can use if you're trying to stall mobs and you all of a sudden start aggroing a lot of enemies, and you just have to dip out of there super fast. And her fourth ability decreases incoming damage and heals you over time as well. Now, I think this is not a channel ability, it's a timed ability. And you have 3 uses before it goes on cooldown. And I think each use has its separate cooldown timer in the background. So you can stack up to 3 of them before you start using them. Now, her first tower is the Flak cannon. It's a shotgun defense with a pretty low range, and it does a moderate, neat amount of damage. And let's also pop the buff to see if we get any higher damage numbers. And I think I did see from 3 mil to 5 mil crits, that is, at least. Yeah, from 3 million crits to 5 million crits, so it does do a nice slight boost. Now, what I'm using on it currently is the standard destruction, deadly strike defense rate, with this current relic that I have, which I will be using across all 4 defenses that I'll be showing today. Same for the shards, I will use these, even though they might not be the most optimal right now for the current defense that I'll be showing you. For her second defense, the oil catapult is honestly pretty good in my opinion. I haven't really used it in combination with a flame defense, but you will see why I like it right now. look at that rate. You can get it down to a 0.63, which does a lot of damage as well. Now, if you use a specific shard, which I sadly don't know which one, or could be even a mod, I have heard people say that supposedly it also leaves a trail of oil upon impact. So it will slow down mobs that will walk on the oil, and supposedly oil the mobs that walk on it as well. So it could be a really good addition to each flame build instead of an oil geyser. Now, for her Dragon's Nest, in my opinion, her best defense, because as you can see, it barely becomes visible where it ends. So her range on the Dragon's Nest is huge, as well as you can stack them super close. Now, as you can see, with the standard setup that I have here of the Destruction, Daily Strike, Defense Rate, Anti-Melee Defense Rate, and Control Server, mind you, again, this is not like the best build whatsoever, because I could use Mass Destruction instead of Defense Rate, Shard, because I already have capped rate. This could potentially go up to like a 3 or 4 million DPS. Defense, once buffed, it could even go up to a 10 million DPS potentially. I haven't tried it yet, but I have heard people got it up to like a 10, 12, some even said like 13 or 14 million DPS using an anti-setup, and they said that it's a really strong defense and really useful, so I will be playing around with the Dragon's Nests myself and see how far I can push them. And I honestly have to say this is by far her strongest defense that she has, and in my opinion also the most fun to use. And now for her final defense, the Elder Dragon. As you can see, it has a lot of range, really long range. However, it's a tower, so because it's specified as a tower, it means it is meant to be dealing damage. Now, I personally wouldn't use the Elder Dragon as an offensive damage dealing defense, because first of all, you can only have one per account, and it doesn't even do that great of a damage. I have heard people getting it up to 10 million DPS, and I don't think that is good whatsoever. However, as you can see, the damage does persist even after it stops attacking for 2 ticks. Take that as you want. In my opinion, I still wouldn't be using the Elder Dragon. It's just a subpar defense in my opinion. However, you may still use it if you wish to do so. Now, to quickly go over my gear, yes, I've just named her Female Squire because I don't know what else to name her. I have just standard gear right now, just random gear that I picked up from the floor while playing Chaos 9. And when we check out her Ascensions, first of all, maxed out hero health. If you want like a quick guide, I would first of all do Holy Fire heal, so you have a higher heal. Then I would go for the Call to Arms damage, so that you can buff your teammates and defenses more. The Fury damage, I don't know exactly what it does. However, I'm speculating it's the ranged projectile from your melee attack. I could be mistaken, however. And then, after you get Holy Fire and Call to Arms, I would just go straight up hero health, then into hero damage. In the defense, of course, max out defense speed, then go for Dragon's Nest. That's my opinion. You may want to use a different defense, but whatever defense you end up using, get the defense speed first of all, prioritize on that, and then do whatever else you want. In the utility tree, I personally like going defense crit chance, defense crit damage, into whatever defense I use, in my case, Dragon's Nest, range gambit. You want these gambits to increase the range. That's my opinion. These 3 are usually what I do first, then I go movement speed, then ability mana, then whatever I feel like getting next. But if you want, you can go hero crit, hero crit damage right after that, and once you get everything else, then get the Flak Cannon, Oil, and Elder Dragon Gambit at the very end. So that was the quick overview of the female squire that I called her, but she is honestly much more than just a female squire. She is the Countess, the Queen, and she is very fun to play. I think her dragon's nests are pretty powerful. However, I haven't managed to hold a single Chaos 9 yet with it, because I probably need a slightly better build. But this is a quick overview of her. I will definitely be playing her more, as she might actually be a substitute if you don't want to play a squire or a barbarian in high-end tier, since she can tank damage quite well, as well as her potential of being a support hero to beef up nearby defenses and or heroes in the new Phoenix fight on Ambermount Volcano. I think, yeah, Ambermount Volcano. If you aren't, or if you don't have good gear, just having her on the team is what everyone would appreciate anyways, because you can just press 2, beef them up, and hey, all of a sudden you're super useful and you don't even need to have good gear. And if you're taking too much damage, boom, you pop the shield and you can even survive the Phoenix. That is my quick overview. I hope you enjoyed. I hope this helped you at all. I might do a proper build video in the future if I end up playing the Countess more and get her properly geared. However, I feel like I'm gonna be focusing on the dragon's nests, and maybe if I feel like oil catapults, but that's about it. I do not think the Flak Cannons or the Elder Dragon are useful whatsoever. Well, that was it for the video. I hope you enjoyed. And I hope you enjoy using the Countess and find out a few secrets that I don't yet know about her. But anyways, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.